looking to have a bounce-back game as the Nets hope to avoid an 0-2 hole against the Celtics. Monday, KD told reporters, "They did a good job forcing me away, helping in the paint. I just have to be more fundamental in my moves. Some shots went in and out for me. I played fast and turned the ball over. I've just got to slow down and play my game." KD shot 27% on the night. Shannon, yesterday you said that KD will bounce back tonight, but that the Celtics eventually would win Game 2.
Yep.
What is KD's line like tonight?
Skip, I think the biggest thing for the Celtics to do is minimize KD assist total. Yeah, he can beat you if he scores 35 or 40, but you really run into the problem when he scores 35, 40, and he has 8 to 12 assists, because that means he's getting somebody some easy looks. Somebody's getting some wide open look at threes, a Patty Mills or a Seth Curry or a Claxton rolling to the basket, a Bruce Brown diving to the basket. He's getting guys easy shots. So I'm gonna say KD has 32, 6 with 8 rebounds. I think that you can live with that. You let him get 8, 12 assists, and you let him get that 30-point total, you're asking for trouble. Because like I said, Skip, I believe he's going to get guys easy looks at the basket. Now, they did a great job, as KD said. They forced him away from the basket a lot further than he wanted to get the basketball. And they brought the double team. They sped him up. Because if you look at KD, he was 1 for 6 with 3 turnovers in the first quarter. He had 6 total turnovers. So that was a prelude of things to come. They kept him in that mode. Al Horford is a big body. Made KD shoot over him. Jaylen Brown did a good job. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum. On that last possession, Skip, Jason Tatum was right there with him. Jason Tatum is not known as a defensive guy. But, hey, when the rubber needs to meet the road, Skip, he knows that shot goes in, it's over. So now let me get up and do everything I possibly can to contest everything. That's all you can do. Just contest it and try to make it as difficult as you possibly can on Kevin Durant. And I thought they did a great job of that. The question is, can Kyrie do what he did bring Game 1 to Game 2, and what type of game does Kevin Durant have? I still believe, Skip, even if they get 60, 65 between the two of them, the big two from the Boston Celtics play them to a push. I believe the others from the Celtics are better than the others from the Nets. So I'm still taking the Nets, even though I do believe Kevin Durant goes for something like 30, I'm going to say 39 rebounds. I'd give him 6 assists.
You're still taking the Celtics, right?
I'm still taking the Celtics.
Taking the Celtics, and you've given me 3.5 points, right?
No.
No? 3.5? What? Help me out.
I gave you 3 points.
3? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll take 3. Good.
I think I gave you 2, though. 2.5.
No, I think you gave me 3.
I gave you 2.5 because the line was 2.5.
It's on tape.
The line was 2.5.
It's 3. The line is 3.5.
No, it's not. What's the line?
3.5.
What's
right
the line?
now. It's 3.5.
No, it's not.
So you just gave me 3.
No, I gave you 2.5.
take 3. Thank you.
No, we're going back to the original bet, which was 2.5. I know I saw you coming.
The original bet when?
Early in the show.
15 minutes ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Man,
You can't even remember your points.
Why are you trying to hustle me all the
trying
time?
to snooker you like you snookered me on Friday because you knew Paul George had COVID.
How did I know
COVID was your friend?
Man, I don't know Paul George like that.
Yes, you do. You had inside information.
I wish.
You got some sources. Maybe LeBron heard about it.
LeBron?
I don't know. They know everything. Rich Paul knows everything. He heard it from
not Rich Paul.
through
Not
the grapevine.
Not Clutch Paul. Excuse me. Clutch Sports sent somebody with COVID. If Paul George contracted it. You need to stop.
Unclutch Sports. Okay. Tonight, Kevin Durant will rise above the Boston Celtics. Kyrie Irving will rise above the crowd and the Boston Celtics. And those two will be too much for you. And they are going to win this game. I'll go 115 to 112, visiting team, because Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet. And I'm here to tell you, the one thing I have learned, hard lessons learned over time. I started covering NBA playoff games back in like the middle 70s for the LA Times. The one thing about the NBA playoffs versus other playoffs in other sports, the script can get flipped on its head from game to game to game.
Right.
You sit back and say, where did that come from? Well, in this case, it actually was right before your very eyes on Sunday.
Right.
The Nets should have won this game. They had them. They had them dead to rights. Dragic has got a 3 to go up 8 with maybe 4 minutes left. Maybe 30 seconds later, KD's got a 3 that he missed to go up 7. If you make either one of those shots, I don't think Boston's going to get home. They quit playing defense, did the Nets down the stretch, but they don't play much defense.
Exactly.
Okay,
When
but
did they
this
start?
was even worse. This is like they're just saying to Boston, we just don't respect you. We can outscore you.
Yeah.
We'll just go down there and make another shot.
Yeah.
You make one, we'll go make a three.
That's how they play.
We'll make threes to your twos. We'll give you these layups down here and these putbacks,
Right.
and we'll go make a big three because KD will make big threes. So what I love about what's happened on this show, and I do believe that Kevin watches this show, I believe that he heard you yesterday say he's unclutch. That's what the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp said, that Kevin Durant is not clutch. You tried to back it up with these sort of phony baloney stats.
That
that you have.
all I'm saying is, for a guy that's as proficient and as efficient as he is at shooting the ball, when in moments, one point, a possession ball game, he has not been as clutch as one would think, given his talent.
So
given what
Shannon
he's done.
says KD not clutch. And I want that up on that bulletin board in the locker room, and I want it in the bulletin board in Kevin's psyche tonight, because he will respond to that kind of criticism.
What Jason Tatum gonna respond to?
Okay, well, that's fine. But I'll take Kevin Durant over Jason Tatum any day or any night. And I've never been quite sure about Jason. There's some
should
nights
now.
I say, woo,
You
there
should
he
be
is.
sure now.
Yeah.
After he dropped 54 on him in the regular season,
Yeah.
it should have been crystal
I
clear.
should be sure about him after he made a layup to win the game on a Kyrie Irving who just matadored him. Kyrie just said, whew, here, have at it.
I'm the last guy that made a game-winning shot on a layup. You remember Skip? Oh,
Left-handed.
Go, James!
Goat made a left-handed layup against the Pacers to win the game because he's a natural-born lefty. Am I right about that?
Yes.
He is left-handed, so he made a left-handed layup. And you count that as a buzzer beater, and I'm
It
like,
is.
you can have
Let me
that.
ask you a question. Was that a buzzer beater?
Shameful.
Was that a buzzer
It was a
beater?
shameful buzzer beater because he went right by, of all people, Paul George. He left him in the dust, right?
Is Paul George not a great two-way player?
He used to be. I don't know what happened.
Oh, so that was
on
what
that
it was.
play.
But I'm saying, if that was Jason Tatum, was that a buzzer beater?
Yes.
Oh, so how was he the buzzer beater and LeBron's wasn't?
It was like, what was the first buzzer beater in what? There was some stat about it. I don't know. And I'm like, well, if that qualifies, have at it.
That's what it qualified.
Okay. And it was great defense by Kyrie Irving, and in the first case by Kevin Durant. They owe their team a game tonight, and they're going to give you big games tonight. Kevin Durant's line tonight will be 30 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds.
You go triple-double.
But you talk about assists. I'm going triple-double because he will have 10 assists on top of 10 rebounds. The 10 rebounds will be easy. He obviously, as you always tell me about LeBron, he needs Seth or Dragic or little Patty.
Mills.
So somebody's going to have to cash the threes, and I think they will start cashing tonight.
Right.
I think Bruce Brown can make threes every once in a while. So they're going to get their looks and their shots because you know they will.
He got his hand full with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Okay, well, they all have their hands full.
And they're going to zap some of that energy out of Kyrie by posting.
Okay.
They're going to post Marcus Smart on him.
Yeah, well, who they have their hands full is that young head coach over there. He's not really so young anymore, but he's first-time head coach.
Joker.
He was sitting on their bench last year, and as he said yesterday, yeah, I saw it up close and personal, so I have some feel for how to defend them because he knows it from the inside out.
Exactly.
When Kevin Durant really won me over, he actually won me over back in my days on Cold Pizza when I predicted he would win multiple scoring titles. But when he really won me over from a guts point of view was when he chose on that fateful July 4th to leave Russell Westbrook and join forces with that team that they had down 3-1. And then he had the weight of the NBA world on his little narrow shoulders of his. And what did he proceed to do in back-to-back finals? He went into LeBron's house in 2-game threes, back-to-back, took the games over, made these shots, one of them right in LeBron's grill, and he became the finals MVP back-to-back. Well, so he lived up to huge hype and expectations.
Joined a team that was 67-15, 73-9 the 2 years before he got there with an MVP
a team
in
that
both of
you
those.
told me all but crawled all the way across country to beg him to come save them.
Skip, that's true. But let's not pretend that they weren't good before Kevin Durant got there. You making it seem like he took the Orlando Magic. You make it seem like he took the Sacramento Kings. That's not what he did.
They had just blown a 3-1 lead to you guys.
Hold on, but let me ask you a question. Where did they blow that lead at? The NBA Finals.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the year before
They actually blew it at Oracle in 2 out of 3
Yes,
games.
but I'm saying they were in the NBA Finals. You make it seem like he picked a ragtag, also ran team, like, oh yeah, now all of a sudden. No, he didn't do that.
Was he not the best player on the floor? Yes, he was.
Oh, my goodness.
Was he not the best player on the floor during those finals? Yes, he was.
Yeah, but Kyrie averaged 27, 8, and 7.
Okay.
Clay was averaging 20 points. Draymond did what Draymond. KD was special. KD averaged 35. But you make it seem like LeBron was averaging 12.
Okay, but you can't. You cannot undercut the fan. You cannot diminish the fact that Kevin Durant had huge pressure because the world was waiting for him to fall on his face in the first finals.
Skip, but my thing is, you make it seem like if you were to switch roles, if LeBron was playing the KD role and KD was on Cleveland, that the Cavaliers would have beat LeBron, Clay, Steph, and Draymond. And you know that's not the case.
I'm not sure about
Man, stop it.
This guy is something. This guy's off the planet because he's the best player.
Well, if that was the case, why didn't he beat him when he was in OKC? He had a chance to beat LeBron when he was in OKC.
Well, that was Baby Thunder.